Alright, another My Natural World video. This is the skin of a praying mantis before they molt to get their wings. And so here's what they look like after they pop out, and they're really an interesting color, like a fluorescent green. And their wings, this one hasn't pumped them up yet, so I guess they have to push blood or whatever green goop into them and then they have to dry, so it probably takes a little while. So it was kind of interesting. I did want to catch one coming out of the skin, but not this year, but close enough, because you know it's there and the skin is right next to it. So you know, it's almost the same thing. It does take a long time for all this stuff. They don't you know, those wings don't fill up really fast or anything. I don't know why I didn't check on it again. I guess I had to do some other things, but you can presume it grew wings. I mean, they filled out and then it flew away. It didn't fly away, it just probably walked away. So they don't seem to fly very much. So I've seen some of them on the same twigs for days. So this is just verbena, this red kind of verbena. It's kind of nice, the red. It's just some the petunias, yes. It's kind of an antique variety I really like. This is what I do with flower. Instead of flower boxes, I just take juice bottles and then cut them in half. Then, you know, fill it with dirt, put a hole in the bottom, and put a nail in the wall there, and you just stick a hole in it and then slide it on the nail, and then you can change the pots in and out, and it kind of, it's like the same thing as a flower box without the box part. And it's kind of good because if something dies or whatever, you just replace it. And so it's kind of nice to have around the windows. But you know, I should paint the windows. But anyway, this is a snake plant. I got these in different colors, and there's just this little tiny fly. I think it's a fly that looks like a bee, sort of. And it was just buzzing around. So I did a lot of playing with just the macro settings on the camera just to see how close I can get to things. So a lot of this was just experimenting and screwing around. But it's not too bad a quality. But it was kind of a gray day. It's been raining the last couple of days. So there's a zooming in shot. I don't know what these plants are called. Unfortunately, deers really like them this year, so they're eating them all. It's just very depressing. There's a big old female praying mantis. So just trying to see how close I can get. And this has been sitting on the same branch for, you know, like a week. So it's kind of interesting. It's, you know, they could go somewhere and they don't seem compelled. So the hunting must be good enough. So there's a little male just a couple inches away, well, 3 or 4 inches away. So I guess he's trying to figure out how to sneak up on her without getting himself grabbed. But they're just interesting bug. She's kind of fat. You can tell the females from the males, because females are pretty fat, presumably full of eggs and such. This is another one of those snake plants. This is like a cultivated variety. It grows much shorter. It's kind of a nice color. And so the deer didn't seem to eat the purple, but they ate the white ones, which is weird. There's another praying mantis you can see here. You know, his legs are stretched out. There he is. So I poke my finger at him, see if I can get him to do something. And you know, all he really did was look at me like I was crazy. Doesn't really seem to know what a finger is. I guess evolution hasn't prepared them for fingers. So didn't really know what to do. Didn't run, didn't attack, just kind of sat there, put up with it. So this is the deer netting over the flowers. You know, have to cage the flowers to keep some of them. The deer's I did pretty good most of the summer, but the last couple of weeks they've been really taking their share. These are just some little eggs that were laid on the deer netting. I was going to try to catch whatever little worms were hatching from them, but I didn't catch them, so they already hatched. These are these little crickets. I always thought they just eat leaves and stuff, and so I saw one on a leaf, and they have a little fake stinger-like horn on the back of their tails there. And this one was eating another bug, so you know, I always thought they were just like leaf eaters, but apparently they're opportunistic, and if there's somebody to eat around, they'll eat them. Yeah, but this guy only seems to have one leg, so he's not going to be able to do his cricketing duties with only one leg. So I guess maybe the praying mantis has worked on him a little. Cut him down to size. So that's kind of nasty. The little bug was, squirming around over there a little bit, and it's kind of, you just didn't expect the crickets to be as bad as the praying mantises. Just some more petunias, kind of some nice colors. And the flower pots do okay because they're a little too high for the deer. They do reach up and grab them sometimes, but it's the only place I can keep flowers that actually look pretty good. Here's a pot where they just ate everything in there. They just chomped everything down. So it's kind of depressing. It takes all summer for some stuff to flower, and then they just eat it. And just, wasted effort. So this spring, it's a male and female. They're attempting the mating thing. It takes them a while. They weren't connected seriously yet. But this male, I've seen him around. He has this broken wing, and so it's kind of interesting. So I recognized him. I went out a couple hours later, and the female's, her whatever was thoraxy butt thing was, moving into position, but they hadn't copulated yet. But I'm sure by morning they'll have done the deed. Yeah, just the cat always jumps in front of the camera. I'm filming something, it just jumps in front of the camera. It's just a whore for attention. This is more of these snake plants. They really are interesting plants. They get all these little sprouty things that come off, and that's where the seeds are. And they pop open when they dry out. So it's kind of an interesting plant. And what the hell is this? It's just a pot. Oh yeah, that's where some more deers had eaten a couple of flowers there. It's a nice purple petunia. This one came out really nice. It's a purpley color, but it's all kind of antique-y looking. So it's just, I was at the macro and my leg was in the way, so I just started filming down my leg, and it was kind of interesting. It's like, yeah, this is kind of natural looking. It's kind of gnarly and scary. But yeah, its skin is really fucked up when you look at it close up. It's not too good. I run into a lot of pricker bushes, so there's a lot of little scarry spots and stuff. But this is going across my knee, and that was kind of, it's like elephant skin. It's kind of neat. You don't realize how worn and fucked up your skin is. But it sort of says, yeah, there's no God. I mean, look at that. It looks like a fucking elephant's butt. Right on my knee. Got an elephant's butt on my knee. So enough of that already. So here's just a couple of photos to end with. So I think I'll do some more of these photos. They're kind of nice. You can kind of just zoom in on them. So like I said, I don't know what these plants are called. They're kind of neat little flowers. They come in purple and blue, and they cross, but they don't. There's a pure white and all the way to these darker colors. The darker ones are much nicer, I think. There's a little bug inside of this one, but you can't quite see that. And there's just a photo of a praying mantis, so we'll just zoom in on him for finishing upping. And but they are the structure of these bugs is just so interesting when you look at them. They're just so well made, but they're innately spooky and creepy. That whole exoskeleton thing is just, it's just too tank-like or something, too machine-like.